This is Michael with Michael James Remodeling. We're on site about to install a door. Of all doors, this is one of the most difficult interior doors to install. It's an 8-foot solid door. It's a double door, has no casing on it, so it's just a single jamb, unlike others that have a split jamb. But we're gonna go into showing you exactly how to do this. Good idea, Joseph. Those rookies, it's upside down. That's why I cut the jamb. So the first thing we're going to do is we've got hardwood floor, so we have a finished floor here. We have to level everything to make sure that when we do set the door, everything is cut nice and tight. It's sitting on the floor exactly how we want it. And as it sits on the floor how we want it, the door is level. It doesn't matter where we level. We just mark a spot so we could just have a reference point. So we're gonna mark a spot there, mark a spot there. Then what we'll do is we're gonna measure from that point down and that point down. It's gonna show us exactly how far off we are, and then we can make the adjustments in the door accordingly. I have 35 5/8. I'm just gonna mark that there. The casing will cover that, so we don't have to worry about that mark. And then right here, I have 35 7/16. So based on those measurements, I am currently 3/16 out of level. And so what I wanna do is I wanna transfer those marks to our door, so when we set the door, it sits level. And we won't even have to, we shouldn't have to level the door except for from left to right, but the top will be level. Okay, so what we've done is we've just brought it to a location that we can easily cut the jambs. And I've marked on each jamb what measurement is at the wall or at the location that it's going to go, so that way I don't get confused. So it's very important to make sure that we're cutting the right measurement appropriately. There's a difference of 3/16 from side to side, so we want to make sure that we don't get confused, because it's easy to get confused on which side should be longer and which side should be shorter. We're measuring which side we need to cut the jamb, so we know that our right side is shorter than our left side. When we leveled the opening, the floor to the left side from the mark of our measurement to the floor is a longer measurement than the right side. So on our right side of our jamb, which is this side right here, it's going to be 3/16 to cut off. So I've marked my 3/16 right now. Our jambs are the exact same measurement on both sides, so we're cutting off 3/16 less. Once we cut that off, this thing should fit exactly level when it's in place. So we're gonna go ahead and put the casing on. The reason why I like to put the casing on first on these doors is it gives us something to nail the door to. If I don't have casing on, I have to open up the door. I have to try to nail the door in place. This is a heavy door. It's very difficult. So we're going to put casing on, nail the casing on all the way around, and then as we install the door, we'll nail the door in place from the casing. So what we've done now is we've measured all our casing, and we're going to nail it in place. So it's really important that we look around the door and make sure that there's no screws or nails holding the door together. It would not be on those sides, it would be down at the top, or if it's a single door, it would be from the opposite side of the hinges. So in this case, we have 2 screws that are holding these doors. I have installed quite a bit of doors and forgot about it, and then I have no way to open up the door. Watch your cabinet, watch your cabinet. Okay, cool. So what we're going to do is we're going to get ready to install this door. We've got couple things that are preventing us from installing right now. We've got one block right here at the bottom, keeping these doors shut. We're about to take that out. As well as we did not put casing on this door. Typically I would put casing on it. To me, it's a little easier to level a door. However, we realized that the wrong casing came out. So we're not going to do that on this go around. So what we're going to do is I'm gonna be on this side leveling the door, and I'm going to have one of our helpers on the inside nailing it when I tell them to nail it. Okay, so we've taken this block out, a little difficult at times, because a lot of times the staples stay in place. I don't like to cut the staples because if there's ever a rug, if a client ever puts a rug in front of the door, it may grab the rug and snag the rug. So I want to try to pull those staples out of the bottom of the door so we don't have any issues with it catching a rug or catching a toe or anything like that, or scraping the floor. Okay, so now what we're going to do is level it. I've got Henry, my helper, on the inside, that he is going to nail it and put 2 nails at every hinge as I level the door. Listo. Okay, tenemos que abajo says. It's upside down, right? Los clavos en cada bisagra. So we've got the door installed. A little more difficult than I like when we don't have casing, but we worked through it. The goal is to, when this is completely shut, we want to make sure that down here on bottom, these doors are nice and flush. That one door is not in further than the other. And so you have to play with it. Sometimes you're playing with plumbness, sometimes you're playing with the level of things to really get it. Ultimately, the way I like to do things is we try to get it as close as we can to level and plumb, and then everything else is by eye. So it's a lot easier to pick up something by eye than whether it is out of plumb or out of level. So fortunately, we are level and we've got great margins. We've got a margin here in the center that looks really good. It's a 1/16 all the way down. We got a nice margin at the top, about 3/16 all the way across the top. Our casing is really close to the sheetrock, or the jamb is really close to the sheetrock, so when we put the casing on, it's gonna be nice and gonna have a clean fit. So I'm happy with this. Now what we'll do is we'll put shims, get everything really nice and tight so we can be ready for the casing. It's really important to me that the jamb is square. It's easy to get a jamb tweaked, and although the doors shut and close very good, the jamb can be twisted a little bit. So I want to make sure that by eye that the bottom of the jambs are nice and square. And so what I like to do is when it's square, then I just put 2 nails on each side of the hinge, making sure that one, I don't nail my fingers, but 2, I don't want the jamb to push in tighter when I nail. Okay, so now I'm happy with that. This is ready to put shims in, and it's ready to put casing on. So I like to put the shims down towards the bottom as well as at the hinges. One reason why I like to put them at the bottom is that's the place where things get bumped the most, whether it's with a vacuum, whether it's with the baseboards, and I like to have that bottom really secure and nice and tight. So I've got the shims in there, and I put a nail on each side, so that way these shims won't go anywhere, and then we'll just cut off the shims after the fact. So now we're ready for casing. We just got a couple of shims that we're gonna do, or just cut them off, be ready for casing. This door is ready for install. We've got a nice, closes real nice. Our margins are real nice up top. So real happy with this.